Well, I know you've missed my shaky videos. I've spoiled you with my tripod usage. So this time we'll be recording old school handmade video. And this time I'll be reviewing something very interesting. Because you see, there is a couple of companies that are producing very high quality HiFi equipment, amplifiers included, and some of these companies are doing this for so long that some of the patents protecting the intellectual property are no longer valid. They expired a couple of years ago, and one of such devices is DartZeel NHB-108 amplifier, stereo amplifier produced by a company based in Switzerland. So the original DartZeel costs around $50,000, and the patents for the device expired, so everyone can now create or build exact clones or improved clones or changed clones or whatever you may like. And you are able to buy PCB boards for such builds. You are able to buy almost exact clones of the original amplifier, including the casing and the general look and feel of the amplifier. And the clones are supposed to be built on exactly the same parts that original is using. Although we have no idea how the parts were being selected and paired for the original, we are assured that the clones are using the same parts. So this is not that type of a clone. This is a clone of DartZeel NHB-108, but this is a clone that has some changes. Okay, let's start with maybe not the technical side, but the interesting financial side. As I said, the original DartZeel amplifier costs around $50,000. Let me say that again, $50,000. For $50,000 you can buy a quite nice car. I guess you can buy a house in some parts of the world. You can buy at least a cabin in the woods or something like that. So that's quite a lot of money. Now, this type of clone, which is not exactly one-to-one copy, it has been modified and in ways improved. You can get for as low as, okay, so have your seatbelts on, and you can get a clone like that for as low as $500. There are actually two versions of this clone. This clone is called D5 amplifier, and there are two versions. The first one is D5 amplifier and the second one is D5 Pro amplifier. They are differing in the power output, in the number of transistor pairs that are serving the power output, and the cheaper version doesn't have a slow start circuit, and the cheaper version is not using the higher quality parts that D5 Pro is using. And for $500 you can have this better version, D5 Pro, which is exactly the unit that you're looking at right now. I bought this because I was curious about the clones being produced in China for a couple of years right now, and the thing that made me finally take the decision is a very good and very nice video from Frank from Germany. Hi Frank, if you're watching this, thank you for your video. Frank got one of these on his workbench, and he measured the power output, and he was reflecting on the internal components, which I'll also do for you in English, because the original video from Frank is in German. My German is a bit rusty, so I had to help myself with the closed captions in English. If you want to see the original video from Frank, I highly recommend that. It's quite a long piece, but yes, it gives you a lot of technical info on the amplifier. Anyway, the information that I got there was so interesting and so promising and tempting that I took the plunge and I bought one. It got here. It got here about a month ago, something like that. I gave it a proper burn-in. All of the owners of the original DartZeel say that it opens up after something like 3 or 3.5 weeks of constant use. Let me put that again, weeks of constant use. So I gave it a proper burn-in and I was measuring the power consumed and the temperatures. The power consumed during burn-in was between 150 and 170 watts all the time. 150 when it was idling or when it was a very quiet passage in the music that I was using for burning, or something like 170 when it was something louder or something more dynamic. But that's not the last word of this amplifier. It's supposed to have this D5 Pro version. It's supposed to have 300 watts of pure output power, and that's amazing. So, the build quality and the externals. The power button that we have here, let's try to show you this one, yeah, and 2 LED diodes, green lighted. One for left channel, one for right channel. Why? You'll understand when we take a look inside. Well, now I'll have to do some heavy lifting because the unit weighs about 19 kilograms. So it's very, very heavy. The sides. The sides are radiators. So let's try this one. Bentley! Bentley! These are solid aluminum fins, painted, coated in paint in black, and they are getting really warm. They are going up to 51, up to 55 Celsius degrees. I've measured that with my laser thermometer. So now the back. In case you're wondering, no, the case is not missing, the screws here, but I've already removed them to show you what's inside later on. In the back we have a couple of things. IEC power plug. We have really nice gold-plated speaker terminals, which are accepting bare wire, banana and spade connectors, and we have RCA inputs for right and for left. As I've said, inside we have two, have I said it already? If I didn't know, now's the time. Inside we have two mono amplifiers for left and right channel, which basically means that you'll probably need to use some kind of RCA cable that have separate lanes for right and left channels, or a cable that you can split so long that it will be actually possible to connect it to both inputs at the same time. Now let's turn it the front side again, and let me show you what's inside. God, it's heavy. No, give me a second, I need something to lift the case. Okay, I've made it. So here it goes. The first thing, just look at that. It's a very thick, solid aluminum plate. And the same goes for the whole case. The whole case is exceptional quality. It's solid aluminum. The build is very precise. There are no strange holes, no strange places, no extruding parts or anything like that. And inside, what's inside? Oh, it's very heavy. I mentioned that. Inside it's beauty and art. First, we have a large custom toroidal transformer, As far as I remember, it should be good up to 800 watts, but I've shown this to one of my fellow electronic engineers here locally, and he says that with this size it should be good for even higher output. But let's say 800. 300 is 600, and this one is supposed to be at least 800. Down. What else? As I said, we have two separated monoblocks, mono amplifiers, and they are exactly the same. These boards are the same boards as here. They are just not mirrored but rotated and screwed to the radiators the other way around. About the parts, we have ELNA for audio capacitors. I was wondering if these are real. I was asking the seller about that. He says these are real. Well, what supports this is that ELNA doesn't have that kind of size and voltage and capacity in their catalog. And you may wonder why does this fact actually supports the theory that this is a real deal. The thing is that these are probably, as I was looking for the information on the internet, I found some information that some of capacitors from ELNA and other companies that are producing electronic parts are being ordered and produced to some equipment manufacturers only. So this type of capacitor would not be present in the official catalog because it was ordered for someone else, and if the factory has surpluses, they will be able to sell it locally to I don't know, to different companies or different vendors. So here we have 6 capacitors, and here we have other 6, and each of them is, no, you're not mistaken, 10,000 microfarads, which basically means that we have 60,000 microfarads on this side and another 60,000 microfarads on this side. All capacitors are rated for 63 volts, so that's with a large margin for error. And these are ELNA for audio series. The thing is that these are mounted on the upper PCB board, and in case I would like to replace them in future, it's a very easy job to unsolder them and to replace them with something else. And what else do we have here? Here we have a slow start circuit board. The power switch is connected to slow start board, and the power input is connected to the board, and then the output from the slow start board is connected to the toroidal transformer. The idea is that we are actually powering this device at the beginning, and this device slowly raises the voltage, so the capacitors are charging slowly and there is no rush of the current, and this is the safe way to start such a powerful device. When the capacitors are charged, when the whole system reaches this stable voltage, then the channels are powering on. I will actually show you this later, but right now I would like to show you a couple of other things inside, and I'd rather do this without 220 volts connected. So, I'm not sure if you can see that. All of the red ones here are German Wima MKP foil capacitors. So very high quality capacitors for audio purposes. The white ones, the white blocks here are ceramic resistors, precise ceramic resistors. The black electrolytic capacitors here and here, and I've actually had my pointer somewhere around. Oh, right now. The black ones here are Rubicon capacitors. The relays here are Omron relays. We have one relay for one channel, another relay for the right channel, and we have 2 relays for slow start. Then we have something that originally DartZeel is maybe not missing because it's solved differently. We have a DC bias servo circuit here using op-amp, but this op-amp is a part of DC servo circuit, so do not change that with anything else. Do not change that with audiophile operational amplifier because it doesn't make sense, and the part values surrounding this op-amp working in DC servo are calculated precisely for this specific operational amplifier. Okay, what else? I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that, the marking on the transistors. Now, I'll write that in the description for the video, but these are supposed to be matched pairs. I was trying to read that right now and I cannot do that in this light. I forgot to prepare that earlier, but I'll write that in the description for the video. Anyway, these are supposed to be matched pairs, the ones on top with the ones on the bottom, because there are pairs going downwards, and this one is responsible for generating 150 watts of output power for the one channel, and this one is responsible for another 150 watts output for the right channel, right and left. Okay, what else? We have fuses. We have 2 fuses per channel, one up here and another one down there per channel, and we have main fuse in the back of the device just over the power plug. So I'm telling you this because for me this is the state-of-the-art device. It's wonderfully planned, wonderfully executed, and it's using high-quality parts. The only 2 minor gripes that I would have with this device, with this amplifier, is the first one is these are input audio signal cables that are going to PCB or from RCA socket. I would replace that maybe with something from solid silver, maybe, and something from solid silver with Teflon coating. But that's just me, and it's not mandatory. The second one is this. These are power cables coming from the inlet, and they are rather thin. As you can see, they are actually thinner than the cables going to the toroidal transformer. So maybe I would replace them with something with higher gauge rating. Okay, that were the gripes that I have. As you can see, the output to speaker connectors is made from some kind of nice cable, nicely looking cable, very thick, and it looks like pure copper cable. Maybe in the future, or maybe not, I will change that with a short piece of some good branded regular speaker cable. Or maybe I won't do that, it's not necessary. As you can see, all of the wiring inside is done in a very neat way, and all of the cables are nicely routed where they should be, and there are no cables, no wiring that would be creating mess inside. So that was a long part about the build quality, about the internals. Now let me show you how the slow start works and how does it actually look like when it powers on. One thing that I forgot to mention. Well, the device is using the legs. Underneath the device we have, you won't be able to see that, or maybe 4 legs. And these are actually quite cheap furniture legs. They are solid, but that's the first thing that I will change with something dampening vibrations, like for example this. Maybe I'll create another review for this. But the legs are something that I will need to change. Now let's power this baby up. Okay, so after I'll power this up, the first thing that will actually be powered up is this slow start. We will be able to hear the clicking relays when they'll give the power to Toy transformer. Then you'll be able to hear the relays on the channels, on the channel amps, when the power will be provided for the PCB boards. And then the LED lights will light up here in front of them for the left channel and for the right channel. So let's start. Okay, so we had power LED here, then we have these two relays, then two other relays, and finally both channels are ready to play our music. By the way, relays are Omron devices, so also high quality parts. Now let's move it. Let's use the tripod, and now a few words about the sound quality. Well, in short, have I said that this was $500? And this $500 included shipping, and I've paid taxes, and I've paid import duties, and the import duties and taxes were like $20. So absolutely low. So okay, $500, right? And so far this is the best sounding amplifier that I had here home in my life. It has a lot of qualities of the tube amplifiers. It has absolute control over my speakers, over my dynamic speakers, and over my electrostat speakers. It has great, powerful, and precise bass. It has amazing mid-range. Amazing. The voices are palpable. The voices sound like there would be someone in the room with you. This is the first time that I've heard something like that from solid-state amplifier. So this is this tube-like quality that the DartZeel is known for. And the treble is absolutely brilliant. It's extended, it's very airy, and both mid-range and treble is flooding your ears with details, but not in an analytical way, but in a very nice way that allows you to enjoy the music. And then if you want to, but you don't have to, but if you want to, you may pick up a singular instrument or voice or sound and get amazed on the details and on the sound information that is hidden with the sound of this particular instrument. The holography and 3D imaging. With my electrostats, it's just amazeballs. It's 3D, very wide, very high, and you can clearly hear the planes of the sound, the depth information that's there. So, I know I'm praising this device like I would be selling this device to you, but I won't. This one stays with me. Regardless, you may have seen in the background, I got yet another toy. Yeah, that one, and it's also a great thing. Regardless of the fact if that cane will stay with me, this one surely stays here, because it's the best amplifier, solid-state amplifier that I've heard in my life so far, and it's dirt cheap. $500 for something with that kind of build quality and sound is just nothing. I've actually asked them about that. How is it possible to have that price that price that includes all these elements, all these parts, and workmanship and shipping. And I said that there are state funds for companies that are producing electronic devices for Western markets. So basically, in the larger image, this may be worrying. This may be worrying because they are clearly thinking about superseding the Europe and the States in production of any type of electronic equipment. But in the short run, it creates some great opportunities for customers like me. So this one stays with me. And to give you some kind of comparison, my current setup consists of two Martin Logan Ascent electrostat speakers there, and these electrostat speakers are powered by my Cambridge Audio 851W Azure monoblocks. So this amplifier has some large shoes to fit in, and it fit them perfectly, and it's actually better. Once again, $500, $1,000 used, another $1,000 used. So I'll keep this one, which had set me back $500, and I'll sell these two, getting back around $2,000. So, and that's the price for the used amplifiers, Azure 851 amplifiers. So I'll be selling these two monsters, and I'll be leaving only this one bad boy. It's very cheap compared to other equipment that I own or had, but this is, once again, this is the best sounding amplifier that I heard in my life. Yes, it stays with me. If I sound like I'm praising right now, that's because I'm praising. Buy this amplifier, thank me later, and thank Frank for this great video that tipped the scales for me and caused me to buy this amplifier. I'll do a comparison sometime soon with this Cane. This is actually the Chinese version of Jazz 80, but it needs some couple of 100 hours burning. But this is absolutely stunning. Stunning. So, see you soon, guys. Bye.